Greetings and thanks for tuning in to my first deck profile of my Evils. I'm going to be using them since Evilzar Dolka came out and Lagia came out, and I thought they were really cool, and this deck has been very fun. So let's get on to it. I run the rank 6 type of build for Evols, so it's a little bit different than the average rank 4 type of thing. So first I run my 3 Evo Tile Najasho. They're really fun. I love Evo Force comboing for them. Running 3 is absolutely brilliant. No more, no less. Well, you can do less, but no more. That's a rule. Then we move on to the 3 Westlow, the card that everyone hates that I face because it just flips and I can special summon anything from my deck that I want to according to what I need at that time, and it's awesome. Moving on to the Evil Czars, we have 3 Serato, which is our power searcher and 1900 attack. So running 3 of him is good if we want to get over, or at least clash into some Thunder Kings and other things and just get over those pesky things. For our back row destruction, we run 2 Diplo, since when he is special summoned by an Evo tile, he makes a back row go away, and that's helpful because even if they activate Bottomless or Fiendish Chain on it, then they waste it on that and you just overlay for something else. Next we run 2 Volcano. He's basically the speed late game, kind of get some engrave and then get some Evo Force combo with Najasho or flip a Westlow and you bring a couple more back with that guy, and he's amazing. And then my rank 6 choice is Elias. I tried the rank 5 build for this, and it didn't work out too well, so I went back to the rank 6. And it works so well because even if you have one in hand, it's not dead because you could just special summon it with the other Elias that you bring to the field and bring that one from your hand. And this guy doesn't get Bottomless, so you can easily go into the rank 6s without worrying about Bottomless. For this guy at least, you still can get Bottomless with your XYZ, but that's okay. And then moving on to, I guess, my tech cards you could call them, I'll run 1 Effect Veiler, because it's Effect Veiler. The 1 copy of Gores, because everything OTKs, and then my personal choice is a Pyrorex. I like the Pyrorex. Game 1, always take him out game 2 and 3, but he's a good choice because I can control my grave fairly well with Volcano and other things, so he's so fun to bring out on the field. And that'll do it for our monsters. Moving on to spells, you run the Rhoda of the deck, which searches out any Evo tile or Evil Sar. Very awesome. Helps you get that first turn Solda, or first turn double Lagia, double Dolka, if you can somehow manage to do that. And the combo card with that is, of course, the 3 Evo Force, which when you tribute, you can tribute an Evo tile to special summon an Evil Sar from deck, and it gets its effects, which is very awesome. Moving on to the non-Evil related cards, I am running 3 back row hate MST, because I hate back row with a passion. And then finally, for my spells, I am just going to run the costless 3. Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, and Monster Reborn. I don't run Book of Moon, just because I don't see it being used too much anymore. I don't run Pot of Avarice. It seems too much. I draw into it and it's useless to me, so I just don't feel like running it. And I know there's a couple other spell cards that I'm missing. I don't run Enemy Controller. I think that's a little bit too slow. And I don't run some other choice cards, but this deck has been working for me, so that's all for the spells, as I drop them everywhere across my playmat. Moving on to the traps. This deck I like to feel as more of a control, so I need stuff to not attack me or get rid of my Evil Zars on field. So I'm running 2 copies of Dimensional Prison, because removal's key, and then 2 copies of the Bottomless Trap Hole, because removal is key. And I want those monsters gone. In order to combat more negating of effects, I run 2 Fiendish Chain. These are very good, especially wind-ups and all sorts of whatever that's popping up around everywhere. In order to combat the swarming of fields, I run 1 Torrential Tribute. I only field 1 just because I don't like blowing up my own field, and it's kind of annoying. When I have a lot coming at me for attacking, I run 1 Mirror Force. That seems to not stay there. And then for summon negation, if there's just something I really need out of there, the 1 copy of Solemn Warning. And of course the 1 copy of Starlight Road, which comes in handy a lot. I can't tell you how many times I've won games because just Starlight Road and saved me the game. My 2 tech choices for my traps are Spiritual Fire Art. This is such a good card because you can either use it to tribute Najasho, or you could just tribute a Lagia after you did a lot of damage, and then just say, here you go, here's game, 2400 to your face, and it's really hilarious. And my second tech card is XYZ Reborn, useful for Dolka and all sorts of other cool things that could be in my graveyard that I've exceeded for early in the game. And that'll round up the deck. I believe that's 42 cards, and it's working awesome. To move on to the extra deck, run the 1 copy of Stardust Dragon, and that's all you need because Starlight Road. For the rank 6s, I run my Evil Czar Solda. I love this guy. I can't tell you how many times a lot of people get mad when I go into him, and it's so hilarious. I love it. I might change this guy, but 1 copy of Photon Strike Bouncer. He's my other rank 6, just in case I grab my Eliases out again, or if I really see the need to go into Bouncer, I'll go into him. Moving on to the rank 4s, I run 2 of my Lagia, and then only 1 of my Dolka. I might change that. I feel Dolka at 1 just because I haven't gotten too many issues with monster effects, and if I'm already have Dolka on the field and I negate twice, usually I have field advantage to get over whatever else, and Lagia will be okay for the rest of it. So that's how I go. And then 1 copy of Abyss Dweller, negating all those effects in Grave, very useful. The 1 copy of Maestroke. Maestroke is very awesome. The endlessly reprinted Utopia, very good as well. Photon Papilloperative, love that card. This is a new one I've been running, which is Steel Swarm Roach. It's not a new card, but I've been running it. Found it useful for just about anything that summons level 5 and over. And then moving on to the more higher level, wow, can't speak today. More of the level 4 monsters instead of 2, going to 3, running the 1 Shockmaster and the 1 Vylon Desigma. I love Desigma. Desigma is so good. It just takes something that's too big for me to get over and attack with Desigma and all that. And then I only run 2 rank 3s just because I don't go into rank 3s, but they're there just in case. The 1 Zen Mains. Everyone should run Zen Mains. Come on. And then the 1 Leviair, just in case of those banished monsters. And that'll do it for my extra deck. That is a solid 15, and you always want to keep it at 15. I don't understand why you would run anything less, because you always never know what you could go into. Now for the side deck, I run 2 copies of Thunder King Ryo. I love Thunder King, negating those special summons. Even though it hurts a little bit with the Evo Diversity, don't really see it being too much of a problem, because negating that special summon should get me enough time to draw 1 into hand and not have it too much dead of a move. And then for the special summons that I just can't get over, and I just want to kind of flip a card up and destroy them both, or all of them I should say, not both. Both is being in the running 2 copies of Fossil Dyna. It's a great card. If only it was Dinosaur, it would be so cool. I side in the 2 copies of Forbidden Lance. I tried running the main, and I liked them, but I just couldn't use them as much as I thought I was going to, so I just side them in, usually game 2 and game 3. Run the extra copy of Mirror Force, just in case I get attacked a lot and there's things that I can't remove. And then because I hate Spellbooks and Prophecies, Curse of Darkness. Even though I love playing the deck, I don't like facing it because you just sit there and do nothing against it. So Curse of Darkness for them. For stuff that just swarms field too fast and I can't get over that, I'll put in the 2nd Torrential Tribute. The double Mind Crush is absolutely awesome. I can't tell you, I've gotten lucky twice on a Mind Crush call and it's won me the match. and it's pretty insane. And for my last little 4-card combo that I side in are my 3 Macrocosmos, and then my 1 copy of Return from the Different Dimension. These 4, combined with all the Evil Sars that have been removed from play, or Evil Swords that have been removed from play, plus Return with a Different Dimension, is so good because you can swarm the field with all of them, and then overlay with all of them, and make some crazy plays. So it's really awesome. So now I'm going to cut to something different, and I'm going to show you what cards you should maybe consider after Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy and Hidden Arsenal 7 come out. So I'm going to cut to them right now. So some cards to consider, maybe for editing this deck a little bit, coming out in Hidden Arsenal 7 in just a few days, is Lavaval Chain. 2 level 4s, detaching 1 and sending a card from deck to grave, or choosing a monster from deck and placing it on top. You could place a Westlow on top, you could send a Diplo to grave and use a Volcano off your Najasho summon and just get so many pluses. It's like, yeah, it's good. It's really good. Another one is Daigusto Emerald. 2 level 4s, detach and target 3 cards in grave, shuffle 3 in deck and draw, and then target a non-effect monster in grave, special summon that target. We don't have that. We don't have a non-effect monster, so that unfortunately doesn't apply, but targeting 3 cards in grave, shuffling all 3, and then drawing is really good. And then the last, is there 2? There's 2 more. Constellar Ptolemy M7. Even though it's a Constellar, it only takes 2 level 6s, and you can XYZ summon this card using a Constellar XYZ summon. That doesn't apply to us, but its effect cannot be activated this turn. If you do, overlay it with Constellar, so that's good, so we can use it right away. And then once per turn, detach 1 XYZ card to target a monster on the field and return that target to the hand. Really good. Even though it's not as... it's really good, Solda is still your one to go to since it can't be destroyed by card effects. But this one returns targets to hand, so it's going to get over that Zen mains, get over anything else that might be bigger and with resistant to destroying effects. So that's going to be awesome. And the last one is Evil Swarm Ouroboros. 3 level 4s, and this card is, if you haven't heard of this card already, it's just so good. Detaching, and each effect can only be used once while this card is face up, so detach, and then target a card, return it to hand, send a random card from your opponent's hand to the grave, and then target a card in your opponent's grave and banish it. And it's got 2750 for 3 level 4s. It's too good not to play. I mean, it's just that good. Moving on to the Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy cards. I think Blaster Elemental Dragon of Calderas is going to be pretty good to run in this deck, just because you can banish 2 dragon or fire monsters from your hand to the grave, except this card, and special summon it from your hand or grave, so the entire deck runs off of fire, so you'll be able to special summon this guy. And then you could discard this card and 1 other fire monster to grave to target on the field and destroy it. So you could send this in a dead Evil Sar in hand to grave, and then you can revive them with Volcano, or just flip Westlow Volcano, whatever one you just ditched, and then overlay. And then you can just special summon this guy from the grave. It's too good. And then when he's banished, you just add another copy of one. So you run it at like 2 or 3, and it's very good. I don't know why you wouldn't run this guy. The next card is King Feral Imp. He's an XYZ for 2 level 4s. Once per turn, detach and add a reptile monster from deck to hand. So Najasho and Westlow. So if you draw that Evo Force and you just go, okay, detach, and you add that Najasho or Westlow to hand, whatever you need, and set it, and you got your plays off there. So he's 2300 attack. He's pretty good to run. And this is just kind of a versatile trap card called Pinpoint Guard. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, target a level 4 or lower monster in grave and special summon it in face-up defense position. It can't be destroyed by battle or card effects this turn. So, I mean, it can't be bottomless. It can be warding, but it just can't be bottomless. So even if they try to bottomless it, if it has over 1500 attack, even though it's in defense position, plus can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, so they're just going to attack into a quote-unquote Marshmallow. So the only thing you have to worry about is piercing damage. And I don't think they'll have piercing damage on the field because they won't know you have Pinpoint Guard. So that's another card to consider. And that'll be it for this deck profile. So if you've enjoyed, a like would be cool, and any suggestions or edits or things of that nature, please be sure to let me know, and thank you very much for watching.